Now, I will try and explain it to you the mode of collection of data. There are three popular modes of collection of data, and those are personal interview, mailing and telephone. Now, we will go step by step. The first mode, as I said, is personal interview. Personal interview means that the interviewer goes from home to home and sits face to face with the person and interviews him. That is, there is a direct contact between the person who is to be interviewed and the interviewer. This is the first mode of collection of data. Now, as far as this mode is concerned, we have to see that there are advantages and disadvantages connected to it. As far as the advantage is concerned, the first thing is that by this we can get accurate response because you are sitting face to face. So, you know exactly what the feelings of the other person are. And supposing you are not satisfied with the answer, you feel that there is little more clarification required, then you can do the clarification there and there itself because both of you are sitting face to face. Now, there is disadvantage also of this kind of mode, and that is this personal interview mode works out very expensive and also time consuming. It can also be that people do get influenced also. Now, I will try and explain it to you by giving an example. For example, if I go for a personal interview to a home and maybe I like a particular party and I want to find out about the status of that political party, the rating, the popularity chart, then I am going to put up questions in that manner that the answer is in favor of that political party. Now, for example, if I say, do you see development around you after the coming of this political party? Maybe the answer at first response would be no, but I am going to twist that. Say for clarification, I am going to say, I feel, and don't you also feel that it has become little better than what it was earlier. Now, I will say, of course, it has become little better, but still not up to the mark. So, here I catch it and I influence the person whom I have interviewed, and I also bring up my data in such a manner that my influence, my feelings have an effect on the collection of data. So, that is the biggest disadvantage of the personal interview mode of collection of data. Next is the mailing method. In this fast moving world, this mailing method is becoming very popular. Now, mailing method is when you mail and you give a time limit and tell them to fill it and send it back to you. In this, the first advantage is that it is a very cheap method of collecting data, that is very inexpensive method of collecting data, and even the people who are living in the remote far flung areas, if we want to collect information, we need not go there physically, but we will be able to get the information in the specified time. And I also cannot put any kind of influence on the people from whom I am collecting the data, because there are set questions set on the mail and they are answering to that. Next is even the sensitive questions which I might not be able to ask during the personal interview can be posted on the mail. Besides, the identity of the person whom we have asked and also the one who is interviewing can be hidden. So, people can become more open, there will be more clarification, there will be more, say, the real genuineness which will come out, because there is no face to face interview and interviewer. But this method also has certain disadvantages, and those are, this method seems to be the method of the literates, not illiterates, because they might not be able to use this kind of a method. And sometimes it might take a very long time because the people might not give the response on time owing to laziness, lack of time, and thus the reactions of the people also which come cannot be watched. I will not know what exactly they felt. For example, if I ask a sensitive question while a personal interview, I know instantly, did the person feel shy? Did the person get embarrassed, or was he open? There was no such feeling. But during this kind, I cannot find out as to what the reaction of the person was. The third and the last method of collection of data, or the mode of collection of data, is through the telephone. Telephone is when I start telephoning certain people and I try and collect data. Now, in this kind of method, the best advantage is that it is of low cost and I cannot influence anybody and I can get high response. I can give telephones to more number of people. But the biggest disadvantage of telephone is that not all people in India have the telephone facility. So, those in the remote areas, the poor people, the uneducated people to whom I am trying to get access to for collecting certain information, I might not be able to collect it at all. Besides, the people might not show interest with me on telephone. So, these are the three methods and the advantages and disadvantages of the mode of collection of data.